Members of the council, Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen of the public, my name is Kyle Marlowe. I've been a lifelong resident of Hudson County, and I've lived in the city most of my adult life. I'd like to start by saying that I agree one of the responsibilities of government is to promote the general welfare. The Etna Avenue project seems to be well thought out and planned, and it does, at least on some level, promote the general welfare. But many would argue that it provides benefits for a few at the cost of the whole. I don't live in that area of the city, but I do travel Etna Avenue nearly daily, and I've done so for nearly 15 years. I can't remember a time that the road itself was ever impassable or from flooding or standing water. And I would agree that the street itself is in need of some maintenance and repair, but there are a number of other areas in the city that are in bad shape. There are a lot of improvements we could do that provide a more balanced effect for the public, such as more gain for smaller money for most people. And even though I support improving our city's infrastructure, I have to stand in opposition to this project.
Now, are we talking price, are we talking stormwater fee, or is that what you're...
It sort of covers both, sir, and I'll get to that point.
Okay.
Because, like the city engineer and I, because I talked to him for a while, stated, the stormwater fee could actually be used for this if it were necessary. I do stand in opposition of both the Etna Avenue project and stormwater use fee, but I'd like to start with Etna Avenue mainly because we can't afford it. It seems to me the main motivating factor to undertake this is because the state of Indiana, through a grant from the federal government, is going to split the cost 80-20. And that reminds me of the story of a woman who comes home from the mall and tells her husband how she had a great date that she saved over $500 while she was shopping. And I'm not sure spending money just to save is such a wise idea. I'd like to remind everybody that any money right now that comes from the federal government is not necessarily our money. It's actually the money of our children and our grandchildren. And I don't feel morally right spending money like that unless it were some state of emergency where we would have to have it. Mr. Mayor has expressed that the city's having a tough time finding money to repair and maintain our current infrastructure, and that's another reason I thought was a user fee, but I've been corrected that it can't be used for that. The $3 a month, I don't ever see it going away, and if anything, I see it increasing. So I think this is a Pandora's box, and I'm not sure that we should be open. And by adding new projects, we must raise the level of funding for maintenance and repairs. And from the information I've gathered, those costs actually haven't been calculated. If we can't pay the bills now, how can we expect to pay the long-term cost of a bigger machine? By adding another project, it's sort of like putting fresh coat of paint on a farm with no roof. I've heard many members of council refer to this economy, and I have to wonder if any of them know what's going on in Huntington. Don't they see the job after job loss? Don't they see people's 401ks that many were depending on for retirement completely wiped out in the last 6 months? Don't they see our senior citizens living on fixed incomes while the prices at the grocery store get higher and higher every year? The moms and dads sit around the kitchen table trying to decide if there's some necessity they can go without. The record number of foreclosures in the paper, and most of all, the factory after factory is closing in the city, breaking the industrial backbone of this community. As far as I'm concerned, passing any type of spending project like this is financially irresponsible at this time. I am sure that everybody agrees that times are tough, and I believe, my friend, the tougher times have yet to come. If we're going to invest in our future, we need to ensure that our presence is solid. And my challenge to the council is to come up with projects and programs that to maintain and repair our current infrastructure. I challenge you not to promote any new expansion until our current system is 100% efficient. It's almost a waste of time to buy new tires for a car that doesn't run right. As far as economic development, since the only way to provide higher wages and a higher standard of living is through productivity, it seems to me the obvious answer is to try and bring industry back to Huntington. If we don't have a strong productive base in our city, all we're left with are empty shops, empty houses, and empty walls. With some stipulations, I believe the idea of waiving tax abatement fees is a great idea, because we can't bring new industry to Huntington right away. We have to ensure that our present industry strong as possible. As a city, we need to try and use our local industries as much as possible when contracting and supplying the city. And if we invest any new money into economic development projects, it should be focused on our industrial sector. I've also heard an argument in support of the stormwater user fee that all of our neighbor cities are doing it. And I've heard it referred to as we're catching up with everybody else. Well, as far as I'm concerned, if the lines are leading in the wrong direction, it's probably best that we're at the end of it. It might give us a chance to step aside and get out of the way before the rest of the lemons jump off the cliff. And if there are any questions or comments? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.